What's happening? Going to continue off basically kind of where I left off yesterday on doing the valve adjustment on this ZX7. So I got all the shims that I need in. I got all the tappet covers or valve shim covers, whatever you want to call them, back on. The cams, these are the lines I was talking about. Basically, lined up. I mean, they're there. You can't, basically get them. They are perfect, but they will move. Obviously, you see the chain. Once it's taut, they'll be perfectly just like that. And on the other side, I'm not going to be able to show you, but there's two white dots. They need to line up. They can't be opposite. They need to line up perfectly. And on the bottom, like I said in my last video, make sure the bottom shows top dead center straight on down. Obviously, that's not a factory ignition rotor, but it still shows top dead center. So I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to put on my valve caps. I might be able to do it one-handed. We will see. Basically, this just sits directly over the cam, just like this. Obviously, it's bent. I'm trying to do this one-handed. All right, I'm going to put you down so I can do this, and then we will resume. All right, before I forget, actually, there's one thing you cannot forget, and they are these half moon, basically C-clips. These will go here on the cam, and what they do is make sure that the top of the cam cover can't go anywhere. So the cams on the head, they already sit in a little recess, so they can't go back anymore. Those big bearings, but the cam cap can still move. I know it's like how, because it's got 4 of those basically aligning pins, but you got to make sure those are in there so they can go in. Obviously, up under there in both of those. So now I will pause you and resume once I get this back on. All right, we are back. So I got all these torqued down to 104-ish inch-pounds. My torque wrench is manual and kind of hard to read, but it's about right. So of course, when you print off the manual, or if you have it, it's gonna tell you which sequence to go. And let me do. Okay, there we go. It'll go in sequence of how you need to go in sequence, and of course the torque specs. Before I put in my chain tensioner, I wanted to show you. So it's max. It's all the way in. The J model, JL, and even the ZX9 B model. These all they're already spring action. They will not stay in like this. You can pull it out on the P model, and then that's it. Will not go back in. To reset it, you just gotta. There's this little thing right here at the bottom. Push that down, and it opens. It opens to lock this back in. So you're gonna want to put it in closed, just like this, because your bolt and your spring will push that out in order to tension the cam chain. They really can't mess this up as long as you have it in like this once you put it in, because it will. This is an auto adjuster, not the manual cam chain tensioner, so it adjusts automatically for you once basically the engine starts. That's basically it. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew about this, your cam chain tensioner, because if you don't, you got to put this in obviously, but you have to reset it. If you don't reset it, you'll struggle and never know why it won't go back in. I'm not sure if I touched base with you on the first video on taking this out. You have to take this bolt out first because it has a spring. You take that out first, and then the 2 Allens. The Allens are ridiculous. I guess from factory they put red Loctite on there. I don't know why, but they did. So, and of course, you can only get to it with an Allen wrench unless you pull the engine. Because there's obviously, you look down in there, there's not a whole lot of room for a socket and a ratchet. So I'm going to stop this video here, get this back in, and I guess, go back over how to check your valve clearances. Because I know in the first video I just talked basically, I didn't really show you how. But now that all of them should be in spec, I will show you how to use a feeler gauge and make sure they are still what you want them to be, I guess. All right, and we're back after some technical difficulties. But I am here. I did get the cam chain tensioner in, and this is about, tight. I mean, there will be some play, not a whole lot, but some. I did say I would go over basically how to check your valve clearances. So you'll have a feeler gauge, and of course there'll be a bunch of them inside. You're gonna want to go off the millimeter. It's not gonna focus. There's so much oils on there, but not the 0.00 number, but actually the 0.00 number. It says millimeters afterwards. So you're gonna get it all put back together, and you get the cam cap torqued down. You're gonna make sure you do that and have this in. You get your, I believe it's a 19 or 18 millimeter. I'll look over here. It is a 19 millimeter socket. Before you check it, I guess just to make sure that nothing's really wrong, rotate the engine. Obviously, you're gonna have your plugs out. It's gonna rotate fairly easily. Rotate it all the way and make sure that you don't hear any valve to piston knock, basically. If that's the case, then you have something wrong, and take it back apart and, top dead center, make sure the cam lines match up, and if they do, then keep looking. So, on checking your tolerances, you're going to look, you can kind of see how the lobe is up. It's kind of facing forward, but it's not pressing down on the bucket. And you're gonna get your shim, and you're gonna. This is not the exact one I need to use, but this you just basically slide it in here. Make sure it goes in there. Like I said, you're gonna have some pressure or some resistance, so you're not gonna have too much resistance. And if it's no resistance at all, you're going to go up a size. And you're gonna keep going through your feeler gauges, and you're going to want to, of course, write everything down. Go through each of them and make sure they're all in spec. And obviously, you get your sheet, go through that. And if they are perfect, you will put your valve cover back on. Make sure you have your tubes in if you took them off, which I do recommend taking these tubes out. And these basically just let, when you have your, kind of like an EGR system for a car, that's basically what that is. Most ZX7 guys have already blocked this off, because it's a clean air mod, and better air, of course, more horsepower, cleaner burn. You tune the carburetor much easier versus having all that exhaust going back into your intake, recirculating for emissions reasons. But you'll put those back in. You'll get your valve cover, and you'll put it back on, and that's basically it. I'm sure you took it apart this far. You can definitely get it back to running order. Of course, valve cover, carbs, airbox, tank, boom. You're back to running again, and your valve should be in tolerance, of course, as long as you follow it along. Basically what I did. So, thanks guys for watching, and we'll talk to y'all later. All right. I guess I couldn't leave y'all hanging. I know you haven't heard this one yet with the full Micron system. This is a full front to back Micron system. Got my little testy funnel right here. I'm going to turn the key on. Right up. She runs good. I guess I do know what I'm doing after all. Sometimes, on a job like that, you really question, what in the heck am I doing? But, that's her. Running good. Fuel pump's working. Yep, every time. Throttle hung a little bit, scared me. Battery fully charged. That's it. Well, I hope anybody who watched this video and did it because of me, or with my help, I guess, I sure do hope that your bike runs as good as this one does. Talk to y'all later.